Hey everyone, it's Rihanna and welcome back to another film review. Today I'm going to be talking about Spectre, which is the 24th and latest film in the James Bond 007 franchise, directed by Sam Mendes. We once again follow Daniel Craig's James Bond back with a bang as he receives a cryptic message that leads him on a trail to uncover a sinister organisation known as Spectre. While back in London at the MI6 headquarters, M is trying to battle against the political forces working against the Secret Service, while Bond tries to uncover the secrets of Spectre that connect to his past. Spectre was one of my most anticipated films of the year. I absolutely love what Sam Mendes and Daniel Craig did with Skyfall. It was a fantastic film, and I was hoping that Spectre was going to top it. So let's talk about Spectre. Spectre has incredibly clever writing and a seriously strong plot, as everything that happens in the film connects to the bigger picture of Spectre and to Bond's past. It's seriously interesting and entertaining to watch this story unfold. And because everything that's happening is building up to this bigger picture, there's tons and tons of tension and anticipation as to what's going to happen next in the story and how everything connects together. Daniel Craig is obviously back as Bond and he is better than ever. He's witty, he's suave, and he can still kick ass in the action scenes. I would say this is him at his best Bond. In terms of Bond as a character, it's definitely more of a sinister, darker, more personal story for Bond as everything connects back to his past, and we just get to see James Bond as more of a human rather than this assassin. Daniel Craig as James Bond isn't the only star of the show. All the side characters, including M, Moneypenny and Q, all do great jobs in this film, and I love that the side characters get to do a lot more in the film and are just a little bit more involved in the story. I think there was a perfect balance on what was focused on Bond and what was focused on the side characters. I love seeing them work as a team and they have great chemistry together. And we have two new characters in the form of Seydoux' Madeline Swan, who is the Bond girl of the film. She can stand her own, she can kick ass, and without her help, James Bond would be nowhere in this film. I really like Seydoux' acting. I thought she pulled off the Bond girl role really well and gave her a few more layers than the average, you know, damsel in distress, but I think some of her relationships and character development was a little bit rushed in the film. And we also have Andrew Scott playing C, who believes that the Secret Service is outdated and everything should be run by drones. His character was a little bit predictable in the film. I could see a mile off where he was going with his character, but he really pulls off the role. What is any good James Bond film without entertaining, witty dialogue? James Bond is back and sassier than ever, and I absolutely love some of the one-liners in this film. They made me die. I guess the only problem I have with the script and story of Spectre is that some of the characters and plot points in the film are very predictable from the start, and that's probably due to the fact that there's a lot of explanation and exposition in the story and the script. It leaves little to the imagination and kind of takes away the mystery of Spectre. We all know from Inglourious Basterds that Christoph Waltz can do a killer, and I mean literal killer, of a villain in a film, and that is no exception in Franz Oberhauser, who is the villain of Spectre. You can see that people fear him, you can see he has power, that he's super smart, and he is so psychotic. There were scenes in this film when I was literally digging my fingers into my palms and gritting my teeth at how psychotic this dude was. He left a lot of the physical fighting to Mr. Hinks, played by Drax the Destroyer. Don't know how he exited the galaxy, don't know where Star-Lord is, but Dave Bautista is silent but deadly in this film and intimidating as hell. I kind of just find it mind-blowing that James Bond, Hans Landa, Drax the Destroyer and Voldemort are in the same film together. It's kind of mind-blowing. Without spoiling anything in terms of the villain in Spectre, I felt like the connection he had to James Bond was kind of forced in the film and a little bit rushed. But as ever, Christoph Waltz pulls off that evil laugh, and I could feel his motivations in this film. He's not quite Javier Bardem crazy in Skyfall, but he was really good in the film. This film has some minor inconsistencies, but one major flaw of this film is definitely its pacing. After the seriously awesome action scene that opens up Spectre, it takes a while to get back to another action scene. It is stop-start throughout the film until you get to the third act, which was easily my favourite and easily the best part of the film. This film is actually quite long and you do feel its length. It really could have been a little bit shorter. Just because I say that the pacing is stop-start and is a bit slow at the beginning of the film is not to say that the action scenes are still not amazing in this film. The opening scene of this film is crazy good, amazing action, and it's just got something for everyone. You want gunfights? We got gunfights. You want knife fights? We got knife fights. You want hand-to-hand combat and crazy aeroplane and helicopter fights? Spectre has it. The gunfights, the hand-to-hand combat, the car chases, all fantastically choreographed and directed by Sam Mendes, who does a fantastic job of directing this film and really builds up the tension and the anticipation of what's going to happen next. As badass, awesome and well choreographed the action and explosions are in Spectre, I couldn't have helped but want more. I felt a little bit underwhelmed at how many action scenes in this film there actually were, and especially with the last final climatic scene of this film, I kind of found it a little bit predictable and a little bit cliched. After Roger Deakins brought us the most beautiful Bond film yet in Skyfall with his cinematography, this one is shot really, really well. It's not quite as pretty as Skyfall looks, but I definitely feel like it's got this dusty, edgier, darker version of Bond rather than the kind of classier, glossy version we had in Skyfall. Overall, Bond is definitely back. It's got some cool throwbacks to the old James Bond films that original fans are going to love. The action scenes are really, really cool. The characters get more involved in this story, especially the side characters. Bond is sassier and more badass than ever in Spectre. The story in this film has layer upon layer, but some of those layers are very, very predictable and cliched. Some of the characters feel like they have a rushed relationship and development throughout the film, and the villain was definitely not as strong as Skyfall. Sorry, Christoph Waltz, but when I see you as a villain, I expect you to be Hans Landa, great at it. Even though the action and most of the characters and storyline in this film are super, super badass, the pacing lets this film down a ton. It's really on level with Casino Royale right now, but I don't think Spectre's quite as good as Skyfall. That being said, it still has some badass action and a really cool in-depth story. It's definitely worth seeing at the cinema on the big screen, and we're going to be giving Spectre a win. So if you guys have seen Spectre, let me know what you thought of it down below in the comments, and what is your favourite Bond movie out of the franchise. If you like this review, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting on new TV reviews and movie reviews for you guys very, very soon. As always, all my social media links, including my Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, are down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. That's all I have for you today. Bye!